Hey guys, welcome back. Thought I'd tell you a little bit about the BMW X5 that we have. It's a 35D, so it's a 3-liter 6-cylinder diesel. It's deleted and tuned with some minor coding from CarPlay. I'll show you a little bit about it. It's white with brown interior. With the black roof liner, which I really like. And it also has the Android screen 8.1. So in the coding, there's lots of stuff you can do, but the main things that I've done are the signal switches. So pressed for 5 instead of the factory 3. It can be as low as 1, which is normal. Then in the display in the center, right now it's showing 698 to the next time I need fuel kind of thing. You can also put in the V speed, so you'll have digital speedometer in there. You can see that. Oh, it's probably shaking a bit, sorry. So that'll, so I coded that, coded the signal switches. I tried to code out the LEDs for the fogs, but I still haven't had success with that. I'm going to have to talk to somebody to fix the error that I'm getting with the fog lights. You can see there's an error there. And if we go on to the Android screen, if we go to menu, everything works like normal. I'm using the iDrive here. Vehicle info, vehicle status. Okay, so there's the tires. If we go to the check control, you'll see left and right fog lamp. So if I go over here, you can see the exclamation mark. So I'm going to turn on the fog lights. You'll see the icon come up in the top there. And in a few seconds now, you'll see that the warning will go away. There, the exclamation mark is gone. And if we go over here, all systems are okay. So that's all I do to deal with that. At this point, I still use the fogs. I get the warning, turn the lights on, the warning's gone, and all systems are okay. So as you can see with the Android screen, everything works as normal. Just did a really long trip with the truck. We did 1,400 kilometers at least, averaging 8.7. So I was getting about 1,000, just over 1,000 kilometers on a tank for long hauls on the highway, doing 120. I'll attach a clip in here to show you because I videotaped. I'm hooked up to the Android Auto with my iPhone, and I'm currently videotaping with my iPhone. Up in the left corner, you can see there's a red time stamp. Maybe the versioning's changed or something like that, because I don't think I was able to do it before. And the other thing is, so this is the X5 35D US edition, and here we are traveling at roughly 120k, 334,000 kilometers. You can see the gas is at 1,032 kilometers on this tank, and I've already done 159 kilometers. Zeroed it when I got it. You can see we're around running between anywhere 4 to 7, I guess, liters per 100 kilometers. But yeah, I thought I'd show you that. That's the Google Maps app from the phone. So you can see everything's in here. As you saw, the vehicle status. So it all works. The iDrive works in this situation. You can go back. You can do this all from the iDrive. FM. Radio works. So that's regular sound. The other thing I'll show you is telephone. So I have my telephone hooked up through the Bluetooth to this, just like that. So that's me there. I'm gonna hook up the CarPlay for you so you can see that work. So if we just, so this will be the first time I'm doing it live while I'm using the phone, so we'll see if it does what it's supposed to do. So I've just plugged in, you can see the wire and the reflection. I'm gonna press on the screen. Also, if you press and hold the menu button on the iDrive for 3 seconds, it'll switch the screen to the Android screen, and vice versa. If you press and hold, it'll switch back to the BMW screen. For faster, what I do is I press the radio button or the CD button. It immediately switches the screens. You don't have to press and hold or anything like that, and I'll show you that. So all you do to go to Android is press the screen, and you're in Android, and there's Apple CarPlay working right away. And like I said, if I switch, I'm going to press the radio button now. So I'm listening to the radio actually, and if I press the radio button, boom, I go back to the screen. And if I want to go back to Android, I go here. So if I want to hear the audio from this screen, you have to go into CD and switch it to aux external device. Most of the time this works seamlessly by itself, but I've figured out how I can listen to the radio and have my maps up and all that stuff. So you can have Apple CarPlay up and listen to the radio at the same time, or vice versa. Press the CD button, and now it's connected to the Android Auto. See, it says external devices there. Go back, and then through the iDrive, I'm going to switch to, let's go to this menu, and let's go to music, and we'll hit play. This is all, not sure what happened there. If I want to listen to the Android, I just switch back to CD, tap, and oh, look at that, I figured it out. When I hit play on the music apps in CarPlay, it stops the camera from recording, so you probably missed all of that. Anyways, so I won't hit play, but I was just saying that so you can play your music or whatever. If you want to get out of that, you can press radio, and it brings you back to the radio. Now if I do this, if I touch the screen, the radio will still be on, but then if as soon as you hit play, it should switch over. Here, we'll see, and I may lose you, but I'll come back. Okay, it did start playing, but it stops the recording, so I won't play any music for you. But like I said, with the iDrive, it controls everything. You can see that. You can go to phone calls, you can go to music, you can go to Google, you can go back to all the menus. You can scroll through the menus and into the next page where we have Amazon Music, Spotify, Waze, stuff like that. So that's the CarPlay. What else can you do? Settings, I think there's only a few things that you can deal with in settings. And that's it for that. You can go back to the main menu by pushing on the side of the iDrive, and then you can scroll through with the iDrive through the different settings. In apps will be all the apps that basically you saw on the first page, plus you're diving deeper into the apps. So you know your Bluetooth, which I don't use with the system because I keep my phone hooked up to the BMW Bluetooth. I find that people can hear me better through that one. Navigation settings, but this settings is a much deeper setting, so this goes into the Android unit and all the factory setups, like the backup camera and stuff like that. You can see I'm using an aftermarket camera because the truck didn't come with one, and I don't have the 360, but you have the track and the radar and stuff like that. You can block video while driving, mirrored camera, stuff like that. If you have the original camera, you just use that instead of the aftermarket camera. Same with the 360 camera. I'll put it in reverse for you now so you can kind of see. So there you go. All the sensors work just like they used to, front and rear. When you turn, you can see the lines move. What else? Yeah, the parking grid. I don't use it. What else can you do? That's the 360, I think. You got your contrast, and your lighting and stuff like that. turn that off so the beeping stops. Put it in park. You have your home button here. That brings you back to the main page. This one here shows the apps that are open. And then you can swipe them off. So there's your auto kit. That's the factory navigation in the unit itself. Google Maps, settings, you can just slide them off and go back to this one if you want. You can pull down from the top. If you pull down from the top and you pull down a second time, there's a power button here, and basically that turns the power off to the screen. So you can turn it off if you find it too bright, if you're driving in the middle of nowhere kind of thing, and everything still functions, it's just the screen is off. Tap it again, you get into settings. You can see the Wi-Fi. Right now we are hooked up to Wi-Fi. It's hooked up to my house. Go back to home, Bluetooth insignia, you can go back a page. That basically, so this shows you what's going on with it. If it does any downloads or anything like that, you'll see it in here. AutoKit is running, which is the Apple CarPlay. Speaker, you can mute it, unmute it. You can take pictures if you have the dash cam or whatever. No SIM card, but running off of Wi-Fi. You got the dashboard in here, which is really cool. TAC and speed, liters, temperature outside, seat belts, stuff like that. You can switch different types of modes, give you different colors, which is kind of cool. Pull down again, go home. I think I've shown you guys the video. The video is great on this thing. The sound is awesome. Tap it, it goes full screen. The picture's fantastic. Stop that, go home. DVR for the front camera. You've got your car info, so I believe this takes you back to the main page if you want. Music, if you have a USB, you can load in music. I don't have any in there right now, so we won't listen to the samples that are in there. Apps, and this is AutoKit, so that's where you go for your CarPlay. It's also loaded with Google Maps and Play Music, so even if you don't want to use the Apple CarPlay, say you want your phone independent from the unit itself, the Google Maps works fantastic. You just use it with your hotspot or Wi-Fi, whatever. That works really well as well. What else? Same with the Play Music. What I do with this actually is I run it on downloaded only. And so when I'm on Wi-Fi, it backs up my playlists onto here. And so I don't use any data playing my music from this. The other thing I'm going to try is we have Amazon Prime Video, so I'm going to try using the Amazon Music app and downloading that next and see how that works. So you can get the Prime Video on here and to play movies and stuff like that. Netflix doesn't seem to work, but I'm working on it. 335,000 kilometers. I'm running LED fogs on it. Got the LED angel lights on it. Typical of LEDs on this truck for this year is that the outer ring is not as bright, but it's the same when you have the incandescent bulb. You'll find the same thing, that the outer ring is not as bright, but the difference with the LEDs is the inside ring is super bright compared to the rest. I don't know if you can hear it. So that's with the delete. So it's got the DPF, it's got the race pipe. Actually, I'll show you the race pipe. pipe there from A. Rodriguez. So the UGR has been removed. So is the cooler been removed. So you can see right down there's the thermostat housing down there. So nice easy access if you ever need to change it. The other thing we did was we had to replace these firewall water tray. They cracked from the factory in here and along these seams, and they drip water down onto the foam, which you see there, the foam, and that foam holds the water and drips it onto the injectors 5 and 6 in the back there, and shorts them out, causes them to fail. As you can see down here a little bit, if I can drag it up for you. So the DPF is gone, and that's my pipe replacing the DPF. Anyways, the water drips down in there onto the injectors and shorts them out. So right after I did the DPF, the day after, I lost 2 injectors. So it's an expensive job. I've had the headlights out, and I had to polish them. I wanted to replace the lenses, but I didn't. It's a big job to replace the lenses. So I polished the lenses. So there's a kit you can buy, and you can do 2 or 3 stages of polishing, sanding and polishing, and then after that you clear coat them with lacquer and they become like new. So the other thing I wanted to tell you guys was that I have this on the truck, the ADS BM1 from iDataStart. BMW and Mini. Works great, comes with 2 remotes. The first remote you can see has the blue lights on it there, so that's feedback. So you press it, it beeps at you, blah blah blah, tells you when the truck started. The second one doesn't have that feedback, but does all the same things. So I'll show you how the BMW remote start works with the X5. It works, I think they say like 3,000 yards or something like that. It works, you don't even have to see the truck. Be 2 blocks away and you can press it. With the feedback one, you can tell whether it started or not. So I'll just give you a demo of it. So the truck's not very far, but here's the remote, press and hold. And you'll see truck's going through its startup. It checks the lock doors, all that stuff, checks for errors, then it starts up. And then I'll get feedback. You can hear the turbo. And so with this, you can drive away without the key. Like if you have the car that doesn't have the comfort access, as mine does not have comfort access, now you can drive without the key. The only problem is that the key uses the slot to charge in the dash to charge itself, on mine anyway. Some of the other ones have batteries in them, but mine has a rechargeable. So to unlock, you use this, press twice, get feedback, unlocked. Okay, and to take over, the first thing you have to do is press the brake. So the takeover is complete now, and I have not put the key in the ignition. I'll turn the light on here so you can see. So there's no key in the ignition, and I can now drive without a key. I just have this guy in my hand, normally in my pocket, and you'll see I'll put it in gear, and we can drive away, or not. And that's all without the key, with this remote starter. Hope you like that. If you have any questions, let me know. That's just, it's funny, eh? I've got the Spark EV, and then I've got the diesel. Obviously, I drive the Spark every day back and forth to work. It has enough distance to get me back and forth without any issues as far as charging is concerned. No maintenance really. I've had the car for 3 years. But it doesn't have the battery capacity to do the long trips that I do quite often. I do take it up to the cottage and stuff like that, but you know, I've got to haul a trailer, move wood, as my wife says, dig holes, move rocks and stuff like that. So and take long trips, Florida, whatever, my parents' place. We need the diesel. So stay tuned for more stuff about both of the cars. Not a lot to say about the Spark that hasn't been said already in the other videos. Really no maintenance issues up till now. There's 90,000 kilometers on it. The diesel, owning a BMW, used BMW diesel out of warranty takes a bit of know-how and to know where to get parts and who to deal with for jobs that you can't do yourself, stuff like that. But other than that, it's a fantastic truck. It's even better now that it's deleted. It gets better gas mileage. It has more power. And I don't have the errors of that system that cause a lot of problems with other sensors and stuff like that. So yeah, give me a like and subscribe, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. Thanks. Ciao. Happy New Year 2020.